Yep, we're live. We're live finally. Alright, that finally works. That was awkward. I think we're live. Yeah, we are definitely live now. Hello, folks. Hello, everybody. Hello. This should be a fun stream. This should be a very intriguing live stream, to say the least. This should be one of the biggest shit shows of a stream you will ever see me do. So, yes, this should be fun. Things should work. Why is YouTube being YouTube? Alright, there we go. Fixed it. Alright, folks. This is gonna be a shit show. Alright, thanks for liking the stream. Make sure to hit the like button down below. And before we start, remember, subscribe, share with your friends. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs before the end of the year. I think we can do that. I think in 30 days we can hit 10,000 subs. Let's try to do that. That's my goal. We're going to talk with Dr. Oz today. This stream is going to be prepared for a very controversial one, because, boy, in the last 24 hours, Dr. Oz has broke the internet. YouTube banned you, no, they didn't ban me yet. Yeah, they didn't ban me yet. Not yet, folks. So, buckle in. We have a lot to talk about because... And, yeah. Alright, so, let's get this out of the way before we even talk about this. Dr. Oz, on economic issues, is one of the best Republicans running. On economic issues, he is very good. He's economically populist. We can agree with that. We saw his platform. I mean, he wants to tax endowments for universities. That alone, my opinion is, should get an endorsement. But people have brought up serious questions about Oz. Now, before we talk about his stuff, we gotta talk about the positives. Economics, again, he's probably the best Republican running for the Senate in that state. I mean, you look at his platform for tax and endowments. You know, his healthcare plan, pre-existing conditions with a free market solution. That works. So we have a lot of good things, especially his economic stuff. Education, he's solid, which we'll get into in a second. And he's pro-life. He's 100% pro-life. But the social issues part, this should be a fun one. I have to explain some things, because some of these criticisms, flat out, some of these criticisms are complete horseshit. Like, I'm gonna get rid of some of these criticisms. No, he doesn't want gun control. Stop with that narrative that Jack Posobiec, who I do like, Posobiec's a cool, chill dude, but he was pushing like, oh, you know, back in 2019, Dr. Oz made a tweet saying that, oh, the CDC should be allowed to study gun violence or something like that. And Posobiec said that means he supports gun control? No, those criticisms are just bullshit. That's just nitpicking to its finest. I mean, if you really want to look at it, Trump, did some gun regulation back in 2018 and 2019. So that's why I'm saying attacking Oz for that, it's a little bit horseshit. So, yeah, that's just that. And on guns, we probably don't know. We don't know much about Oz, but using that as proof that he's against guns, that's nonsense. Now, on some other issues, we're gonna get some of these out of the way. The trans one is gonna be the most interesting one, because I went back and looked back at it, guys. Posobiec, I don't know what Posobiec's agenda is. I don't know what his issue with him is. Oz never supports them. Nor did he approve or disapprove the trans people in a show. I'm going to get into it in a second, because this idea that he's pro alphabet agenda or that nonsense, he never made a statement about it on the show. Go watch the clips, which Posobiec said he was going to do. He's not going to do that. I don't know what his problem is. But what happened is this. He had two trans people on his show. I'm not denying that. Back in like 2009, he had 2 trans people on and like 2 other people in like 2012 on or something like that. Something like that. And it was not approving or disapproving it. He basically was like, okay, whatever. He only did this, he only had the people on for the medical parts of it, like the procedure, how it's done, and the emotional impact of it. That's what he had him on for. Not for, oh, I approve this or endorse being transgender. All he did was have them on and just talk with the emotional impacts of it. Go watch it. That's not even me. And in fact, he debated one of the doctors who did the procedure on it. On the gender the one disorder for gender. I can't think of it on the top of my head. But he debated him on it. That's what Dr. Oz does on his show. Now again, I wish Parnell was still running because, you know, Parnell was the best overall candidate, but Oz is the best one we got right now. It just, some of these criticisms are so absurd that, no. Just no. And again, you can go back to the show. It. And I do think this is a valid point. He should, in fact, gender dystopian, whatever you want to say it, I cannot pronounce it correctly. He should publicly come out and say what are his stances. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, I am freaking Polish. What do you expect? I mean, in Wisconsin, we have all these Polish names, but I can't pronounce that. It's just, I don't know, it's called being American in Polish. But, yeah, the trans stuff is a bunch of horseshit. Go, just watch it up. It's a crappy criticism. Dysphoria, whatever. But you get the point. He had them on the show. There's no denying that. But he didn't approve of it. He didn't endorse it. Like, people like Pasabik were making it sound like he endorsed it. He never did. That's a bunch of malarkey, to say the least. You know, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But that's that. That's the trans stuff, the LGBT stuff. He had him on like 12 years ago. He hasn't, I think the latest one was like 2014 he talked about it. That's the last time I think he talked about it. And he never endorses a lot of that stuff. A lot of the controversial stuff, he doesn't endorse. Nor not endorse. We just gotta get a clear stance on his issues on, like, the LGBT stuff, the trans cult. Now, there's some stuff I flat out cannot back. We need a valid question. We need valid questions for a lot of this, but the only 2 valid things that people are going after Oz for is the racial medical shit he was pushing. That is one of the only things that people bring up that's a valid point. That is one of the bigger issues that we need answers. Because Oz basically endorsed some kind of racial policy in medicine. That he needs to answer completely. I can't defend him on that one. There's not even any context. There's nothing. That's a one true thing he needs to answer in a lot of these other social issues, like where he stands on guns, LGBT stuff. But on his platform, he wants to get rid of, like, critical race theory in schools. So it's like, I don't know about that. That was a Twitter retweet. That was probably... That's probably a fair point. That's why I'm saying that the stuff that happened on his show, or even on his Twitter, I think you can take that with a grain of salt, because I guarantee you, TV Dr. Oz is way different than real Dr. Oz. Those are probably 2 different people. So it's a valid point to say. I even brought this up saying, like, yeah, he may have had, you know, some crazy nut job on 12 years ago talking about how he saw the dead, but he never endorsed it, nor did he not. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these shows he did not endorse it. He did not endorse a lot of this crap. He is clear when he endorses some stuff. Go watch his show. He always endorses stuff clearly. Not this, oh, he had people on. Who gives a shit if he had them on? That's why I'm saying that it doesn't matter. And again, I'm against, everybody knows I'm one of the harshest people against transgenderism, but just because you have the person on doesn't mean shit. And by the way, didn't Pasabic support Bruce Jenner? I'm pretty sure he did. Let's go look this up. Jack Pasabic. This should be a fun one. I'm going to double check. I swore he endorsed Jenner. We just got to see. From Jack Pasabic. From Jack Pasabic. I don't know how you spell this guy's name. This should be fun. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he basically endorsed him. Rap, look at my comment. I just said he did. Did he? I'm pretty sure I saw that. Yeah, Pasabic. Yeah, that's... So, I think he endorsed her. Or him. I don't know what you give. Who gives a shit if he endorsed Jenner? It's endorsement. Well, there's a big... Well... Then why is it a big deal that Oz had somebody that was trans on his show 12 years ago? Look, I don't agree with it, but he never endorsed it. That's what I'm saying. He never publicly endorsed it. Now again, he said some stuff in the show he shouldn't have said. But again, it was probably some low-level clerk who ran the Twitter account that day. We just gotta see. Now, the carpetbagging stuff... I'm 50-50 on, because he basically grew up in Philadelphia. Like, I think he went to college in Philly, and he was married in Philly, and I think he had a couple of his kids in Philly. But his entire life, he basically lived in Philly, so that's not a big deal. But again, he did move to northern New Jersey, I know that, but I'm pretty sure he still lived like half his life in Philly, or Pennsylvania at least. There's nothing political about this show. Can't take anything. Yeah. And the Rodney Davis stuff, or whatever the guy's name is, the dude that was a child rapist, Oz had him on his crime segment thing once, his brother. And Pasabic's going around saying, look at this man's support of child rapist. He just had him on his show and just interviewed him. What is such a big deal with interviewing people? I mean, some of these criticisms are absurd. Now, again, the critical race stuff in the medicine, he does have to answer that. So, again, there is valid questions he has to answer, but a lot of this nonsense about having people on the show. Who gives a shit who was on his show? My opinion is ignore his show completely. That is such a crappy way of determining how good somebody is. If we're really going to do this, Tucker Carlson was a libertarian 10 years ago. That's what I'm saying. It's so absurd that, oh, well, he's, all this garbage. So, there's that. That is the main bread and butter in this. Dr. Oz has serious questions. But at the same time, some of these quote-unquote questions, they're not questions. They're just people that don't like Oz for... You probably know why. Which again, let's be real here. He's Muslim the same way Biden is Catholic. Basically non-existent. He's basically not Muslim. As Biden's basically not Catholic. He just says he is. So yeah, there's that. That is the big thing I wanted to get to today, because I'm sick and tired of some of these people. Oh, well, you see, again, the show mattered. I don't give a shit what he said on a show. His show's not a political show. It's a medicine show. It's a science show. It's like attacking Bill Nye before he went off the rails in 1996, who had a good show, by the way. Back in 1990s, he had a decent show. That's like attacking him for that. It's medicine. It's science. That's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not endorsing anybody yet, but I do think that Oz is the best candidate we got so far. Now, and by the way, people are ignoring the fact Dr. Oz was one of the first major people to say, back in April of 2020, schools should be fully reopened. He's one of the first people to say it. And people are ignoring that. It's just crazy what's happening. It just, you can't just attack Oz for saying stuff he's 12 years ago, but then being one of the only good people on COVID. Now, again, I know he says some cringy stuff with the vaccine, but he's not for forced vaccination. And even he did an interview for child vaccination. He's against it. He's saying, if you're not, have serious pre-existing conditions, there's no reason for you to get it. He's one of the only few people talking about natural immunity, talking about all this stuff. Now again, Bill Nye, like somebody said, I'm not saying Bill Nye is the best dude. He had a decent show, but he's not a scientist. He's an engineer, but still, that's what I'm saying. I know people are not going to like Oz because, there's some stuff I agree that he should not have said, but I'm just saying some of these criticisms are just for different reasons. Now, we don't know his opinion on many stuff, but again, I'm just saying just take a grain of salt with some of the stuff he said on his show. But just the stuff about transgender, again, I debunked it. He had 2 trans people on his show like twice or something like that, but he never endorsed that. He just talked with the science behind it. The quote-unquote science. So that's why, my opinion on Oz, if he's solid in economics, and I could live with some of his comments in the past, if he's solid in many of the issues, and he's solid in healthcare, which is a big issue in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of former Blue Dog Dems who still vote Democrat because of healthcare. But I do think Oz is going to win. Again, I would prefer Perry too, but I think Oz is overall the best candidate. On economics, by far the best Republican in Pennsylvania. But on social issues, yeah, sure, we can debate it. Stacey Abrams is running for Georgia governor. I don't think that she's gonna lose, and her career's done. So I see that as a W. So here, abortion. Well, what are you gonna talk about? Abortion for Dr. Oz. I mean, he says he's pro-life. He wants to ban abortion. I know that. You have to pick one of these rhinos. Nikki Haley fan, Susan Collins fan. I gotta go Susan Collins fan. At least Susan Collins fan. At least she's like good on social issues. The other 2 clowns, they want to just no. Just terrible. So yeah, I think that's that about Oz. I think you get the point that there's issues with Oz, but some of these criticisms, it's for different reasons. Let's be real here. But again, some issues, yes, answer to, but no, he's not every single thing these people on election Twitter are saying is true. Let's see here. People on election Twitter act like anyone who doesn't agree with Trump 100% is a deep state rhino and neocon who supports anyone who supports said candidates of base. Exactly. That's my issue with a lot of election Twitter. I mean, Trump was more left-wing on social. If you want to talk about, he has, Dr. Oz had a transgender person on his show in 2012 or something like that, go look up Trump's stances in 2000. Yeah, that gives you a little bit of a different perspective. Let's see here. Could Vernon Jones is done. He killed himself with the white stuff. Not gonna get into it, but he killed his campaign. I do think Purdue's gonna run. I confirm that he's running. All right. Let's see here. Will Biden's Build Back Better bill pass the Senate? No. It's gonna be we're having a government shutdown. Which I'm not gonna get into because, YouTube being YouTube, but, watch out for tomorrow. We're gonna have the strictest COVID regulations date. So that's what I'm saying. Watch out tomorrow. There'll be big news coming out. That's all I know. I don't know the exact details, but the strictest so far. Jack Posobiec's doing a smear campaign, including Red Eagle. Yeah, my opinion, it's a smear campaign. That's what it is at this point. They're just taking stuff out of context and nitpicking it, while ignoring the actual questions with him. Like, oh, well, he supported critical race in medicine. Yeah, he has to answer to that. But outside of that, the transgender stuff, again, that's nonsense. Anyways, why, for what? I think that's for the COVID. Well, for COVID, it's because Biden's going to announce new regulations tomorrow. I don't think they're shutting it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I just know that the strictest restrictions so far are coming tomorrow. Do you think schools will shut down? I have a feeling if you're a Democrat governor outside of like Bell Edwards, you're going to have virtual learning for a couple months. That's what I think's going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen. I flat out just prepare for the worst. I think that the worst is coming. Because we already have cases of the Omicron crap already in America. So, this is just like the J.D. Vance thing back in April. Well, the J.D. Vance thing was actual political stuff. With Oz, he just had science stuff. That's a big difference. I will not comply. I will not either, but we all know what's going to happen. It's going to be way worse in school. I don't know. Fuck, I'm in Wisconsin. Oh, you're in Wisconsin? Well, hello there, fellow Wisconsinite. Can't wait for Evers to go. Well, yeah, Evers is done. I mean, Evers is going to absolutely crush. I mean, the Blue Dog Dems that saved him and, the Trump Democrats, they're gone. Wolf screwed me, yeah. Wolf is bad. Omicron is bad. I'm not going to say it, but yeah, it's true. It's true. That's what it is. If he puts virtual learning, he's going to lose by 10 because of pissed off parents. Well, he's going to, yeah, he's done either way. He's done. That's the good part. And plus, we're about to get a super majority in both the state Senate and the state Assembly. It's going to be beautiful. With a pretty solid Republican in Rebecca Kleefisch or Sean Duffy. Just not the QAnon libertarian loser. I live in the shithole. You actually live in D.C. Godspeed you. Get the hell out. If you live in D.C., get out. Get out. So, yeah. I'm in New York and I'm getting locked up. I feel bad for you. Somehow Cuomo resigning was the worst thing for you guys. I don't know how it's possible, but Cuomo shouldn't have resigned. Now he killed him, what happened, but this new governor's worse somehow. I don't know what happened in New York, but jeez. Paso's ruining DC, Dr. Oz's Senate run. Again, a lot of the criticisms are horseshit. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he doesn't like Dr. Oz for what reason. I don't know. Some of the basement caucus believe overturning Roe. I'm not going to get into it. But what I will say about Roe versus Wade is this. When abortion is the number one issue, it helps Republicans. There, I said it. Go look at exit polls. Not even exit polls. Just look at election results. Look at Virginia, where it was one of the top issues. Didn't go so well for them. Is the economy out there? I don't know. It already did, but it recovered under Trump. I think it's going to collapse. It's not just going to be a crash. It's going to be a full-on collapse. You're going to see one of these big businesses that actually is important to the economy, like even Boeing. I think one of them is going to be absolutely just bankrupt. That's what I think is going to happen. So prepare for the worst tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of economic downturn now. It's the beginning of hell. We thought last month was bad. It's going to get worse. Are we Oz supporters or no? I say just for now, yes, but Just wait. Just watch and wait. Let's see what happens. So yeah, Godspeed, everybody. Just good luck tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen, but just prepare for the worst tomorrow. And again, if you're in a red state, you're fine. But if you have a Democrat governor, you're screwed. It's going down. This reminds me a lot of what happened the week of March 13th. Remember March 13th, 2020? I have a feeling it's going to be like that again. If Boeing went bankrupt. Well, I have a feeling one of those big companies that's actually important to the economy, like Boeing, not Boeing specifically, are going to go bankrupt. So, and I heard, yeah, I know China's infrastructure, I know the real estate there is just going to collapse any second now. Again, the stream will be up because I didn't talk about anything, controversial that YouTube has a reason to get rid of, but we need the Megatron variant, which will make us old Chad, yes. Well, time to start the recall election. Well, Evers is done either way. It's kind of a waste of time, so. What if our governor, well, if it's Charlie Baker, who's, a Democrat, you're screwed. Good luck. By the way, I don't know. Somebody's asking which companies you think are going bankrupt. I don't know. I just have a feeling one of the major ones that's actually important to the economy, like Boeing, is going to go bankrupt. I have a weird feeling. This is going to end up like 2008 on steroids. I have this weird feeling. Just saying one major corp failing will cause that's what's going to happen. One major corporation is going to go underwater. It's going to... The entire thing's... The entire rickety ship is just going to sink completely. And guys, this is what happens when you vote for Biden. And those that voted for Biden, not in a graveyard, good job. Just standing ovation. Good job. You're causing the Great Depression 2.0. Good job. So, yes, good luck to everybody tomorrow. I don't know what to say or do, but just Godspeed. We have to be prepared for the worst. I don't know what's coming. That's all I can say. And again, this isn't me, pushing conspiracy theory. It was just reported minutes ago that Biden's going to announce very strict regulation. I called it last night. So, there's that. So yeah, Godspeed everybody. Just again, be safe tomorrow. Just be safe tomorrow. Be ready for the worst. And I don't know. I really don't know. It's one of those times where I gotta say I'm dumbfounded. What's gonna happen? And again, with SCOTUS, let's pray that at the very minimum, viability is declared at worst 12 weeks. That's what I'm hoping happens, because that's the big thing with Roe versus Wade that has never been clarified. What is considered viability? So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, again, be prepared tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know when there's gonna be a new video, probably tomorrow, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. But seriously though, we're screwed. Sorry for being a bearer of bad news, but yeah, we're screwed. Thank you guys.